Hello, it's Just Gaming here, and welcome back to another Legend of MotoGP. Today we're going to be doing another official MotoGP rider. Basically, I don't do this every time. It's been a little bit of a while since I've last done one. I want to kind of explain that what these Legend of MotoGP videos are. It's basically a series that I come up with by myself, where I basically review every rider that's in every category. When I've done every rider of MotoGP, I will be moving on to the Moto2 class and then doing Moto3 and all that. It's basically a series where I just shout out to a rider that I like, and yeah, don't forget I will be doing every rider. I just won't be doing the favourite riders. I'll be doing all the riders. So this is the fifth one so far. I've done 4 so far if you guys want to check those. So far I've done one on Rossi, I've done one on Danny Pedrosa, done one on Marc Marquez, and I've done one on Dovi. So I've done 4 so far. So this is the 5th one, and then like I said, we'll be doing another one. There's still a lot of riders that I still need to review yet, because I think in MotoGP, I think there's about 26 riders. So there is actually a lot in this one. But yeah, so let's go on and move on. So today, we are going to be talking about Jorge Lorenzo, and this guy's quite good, but there is going to be a lot of questions about Lorenzo. It's because there's kind of been a few problems about Lorenzo, and I'm going to explain them right now until we've got through his possession. So here he is. He's basically Dovi's teammate, because last one I talked about Dovi, but today we're talking about Dovi's teammate this time, Jorge Lorenzo, on the Ducati as well. So let's go and have a look then. So he's got a 92% braking, he's got 94% throttle management, he's got 97% cornering, and 92% body position. So it looks like I think Dovi does. Yeah, basically Dovi does a lot more better than him. So basically he's more in the 90s basically. So he does all 90s stuff. So Lorenzo is a little bit more better, but basically Dovi is in a little bit of the 80s, and Lorenzo is only in the 90s. So he's in like 92, 94, 97, and 92. So yep, he's from Spain, and he's 30 years of age, and he's done 251 races. So he's done a little bit more races than what Dovi's normally done, but he's done a lot of races. And yeah, Lorenzo's been around on the MotoGPs for, I think it's about, is it 6 years? I'm just trying to work it out. 2008. I think it might. Oh, I think it's more than that. I think it's 11 years. I think Lorenzo's been on MotoGP. I think he started in 2008. I think. Yeah, I think he started in 2008, so it's 10 years Lorenzo's been rider. Yeah, I think it's 10 years he's been rider, because he first wrote in 2008. So yeah, that's how long he's been riding for. So it's been a while, and basically there's been a bit of an up and down with him, which I will be talking about. And the reason I'm doing it on Aragon is because it's Lorenzo's home circuit. So that's why we're going to be doing it on there. I don't want to bother with Jerez because I get a bit bored of that one, and Catalunya I get a bit bored as well. So I thought to go for Aragon just because it's his home circuit. We're doing 3 laps, and we're going to do a race on easy. So anyway, let's get into it then. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of questions about Lorenzo, just because there's kind of a lot of things that's been happening. And the first reason that I'm going to be going through first is basically he's been a total guy with the Yamaha. And now, so basically when Lorenzo first started, he started on the Yamaha. I believe he was in World Superbikes before he came into MotoGP, and that was in like 2008. So I think his first bike that he rode was on the Yamaha, and basically the Yamaha is basically only the bike that he's been on. Like I think it's since 2017 he has been on that bike. So he's been on the Yamaha for, I think it's 7 years. I think he's been on it 7 years. He's been on that Yamaha, and yes, basically like I said from before, it was like the old Yamaha, and then they changed it to the Yamaha. So he's been on the Yamaha for 7 years, and he's only been on the Ducati for. He's only been on it for 2 years on the Ducati. So well, I think it's nearly 2 years. I can't exactly remember what it is, but yeah, like I said from before, he was actually quite good on the Yamaha. I basically saw him in 2016 when he rode the Yamaha, and apparently he was really good on the Yamaha. Like he's rode it for that long. Basically, there was kind of a few problems of what we were having with that Yamaha, which I will be going through, and that is race issues. Basically, he's been having a few sort of like race issues with it. He's not been finishing where he wants to be. He's been finishing in the bottom 10. He's not been finishing in the top 10. So there's been kind of a few problems with what has been going on. And also his body position is a little bit mean as well. But apparently on the Ducati, I think, like basically on the Ducati, he's basically just a lot more better. because like the past 3 races of this season he's been winning on it, and I think on like the Yamaha he's not been winning on that bike. So I gotta say that he's like my bet, because next year he's not going to be on the Ducati next year. He's going to be on a Repsol Honda next year with Marquez. So this is only the I think this is his this is his 2nd year on it. So basically at the end of this year he's going to be he's going to be on Honda, which is going to be good. I don't know why he's changing on Honda. I'm not sure if it feels a lot better. But yeah, he's actually going to Honda next year. So basically he's actually only had 2 years on this bike, because I thought he was going to stay on this bike for quite a while, like what he did with the Yamaha, because like he's been on that for like 7 years. And yeah, I basically thought he was going to be on this bike for a while. But yeah, I basically heard from him that he said he's gonna move to Honda, and I think that might be. I don't think he's going to change after that. I think that's probably going to be the bike he's going to stay on for a couple of years, and that's probably the bike that he wants. I'm actually not sure. He might end up maybe going back to Ducati. I never know. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, let's go and talk about the Yamaha first. So basically, he rode on the Yamaha for that long. I think he struggled a little bit, because I didn't like watch him that many years, but apparently I did hear that he's been doing very good on it. He's won a lot of races on the Yamaha. I think he's done a few podiums. He's also done a few thirds and a few seconds, and he's finished in 4th sometimes as well. So like he's done a few podiums. He's also finished in the top 10 a couple of times, because that's when he was actually struggling a little bit. But he's kind of finished near the top 10. There is kind of a few bad problems he's been having about that Yamaha, and well, all the Yamahas for every year, and that is because he's been struggling on them all. Like every single Yamaha that's been coming out every year, he's been struggling on them all. So like basically he's been dropping down places. Maybe his tyres have been going down, or maybe he just don't feel the bike or something. Like I basically watched him a few years ago, and yeah, I did see him. He has been struggling on it. And I'm actually not sure if that's because maybe a grip position is on the Yamaha, or it's maybe because of all the tyres that's been going on. Like Yamaha are like a pretty good team, because I know it's one of my favourite MotoGP teams anyway. But basically they've not been going as gripper lately, because like when you see them in 2018 with Maverick and Valentino Rossi, like they've been struggling a little bit. Like basically the movie star Yamaha team, they've not been there this year. Like they've been struggling. Like Rossi's been fine. He's been finishing in the top 10. But yeah, Maverick's been struggling on it. Like basically the Yamahas are not why they are this year, and that's what's been going on. But like in the past few years, they've been going all right, Yamaha, and like I think they're pretty much like finished nearly like in the top 1st or like top 2nd. But like I still love Yamaha anyway. But like they've just been technically struggling a lot better, and that's what Lorenzo's been going on. Like I've seen Lorenzo on the Yamaha, and he's been going all right. I know that in 2016 he was having a few problems with it, so that's completely fine. Also, I think in 2015 he did win a lot of races, and also in 2014 he did well in that season. And basically I watched his contract video when 2016 ended, and he said that he was going to go to Ducati for a couple of years. I have no idea why he wanted to go to Ducati. I'm not sure if it's because that he got a little bit tired of maybe the Yamaha, or the Yamaha wasn't suiting him properly, or I don't really know. Basically, he just wanted to just change on to Ducati, and that was a good thing to do, because like being on the Yamaha for that long is so like it gets a bit tiring, because like Danny Pedrosa, for example, because he's been on the Honda for a while, and he's been staying on the Honda. So like with Lorenzo, for example, he's just been. I think the reason why they stayed him on Yamaha for quite a while is because that he's been doing really, really well. He's been finishing in top 5 positions. He's been finishing in 1st and podiums and all that. And yeah, I think that's why the reason why they let him stay in Yamaha for them years is because he's been doing very, very well, and he's not been letting the team down. He's like not been contracting or anything like that. So I think that might be the reason why they just let him stay at Yamaha for that year. Basically in 2016 he was struggling anyway, and that was the point where he was doing good, and then he decided to move to Ducati for a couple of years. But like, he's only been on this bike for 2 years, and I actually thought he was going to be on it a little bit longer. But like, I pretty much like watched his conversation in the press conference, and apparently he wants to go to Honda and Marquez, which I'm actually not sure if he's going to do well on the Honda, because I know that the Honda's going to be a lot more struggling than the Ducati, because like the Ducati's going to be like a lot more. It's going to be a lot more faster, but hopefully he does well in the Honda. I'm actually not sure if he's going to be able to grip at the front, if it's going to be him and basically him and a Marquez battle or something like that. But apart from that, yeah, I'm actually gonna see what he's gonna be doing on the Honda. Hopefully he does really well on it. I'm actually not sure whether he's gonna go, but yeah, hopefully he's gonna be very, very good. And hopefully he's gonna like grip the bike very, very well, and hopefully he's going to be good on it, because I know that for Ducati next year it's going to be Jack Miller that's going to be on Ducati. I think it's Daniel Petrucci and Pecco Bagnaia on the Pramac ones. So I think it's Jack Miller going to Ducati. I can't remember. I think it's either him or Daniel Petrucci going to Ducati. I can't exactly remember, but yeah, it's actually one of them. But yeah, I think it might be Jack Miller actually going to Ducati, and I think Daniel Petrucci's staying where he is, and Bagnaia's into Pramac as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season next year. I'm actually not sure how the Honda's going to feel for him. Maybe the Honda might be a little bit better than Ducati, but like, basically the problems about the Ducati is there's a couple of reasons. Is because the Ducati's quite big, and it is a big, massive bike. And what I don't mean about that is like the Ducati's like one of the quickest bikes in this class. And another thing is like the bike is very, very heavy, and like some of the riders that you do usually ride Ducatis are kind of just a little bit heavy. Like the Pramac ones are a little bit more slower than the normal ones, but and maybe because he's been losing some grip on the Ducati, or he's just not been doing it right. Because I know that like when the season started, he was struggling on it. He wasn't doing very, very well. And then like basically when we got into the second half of the season, he just started to get a lot more better. He started to win lots of races, and then his teammate came second. And like basically, to be honest with you, so far Lorenzo is doing a lot better than Dovi now. Like Dovi is like still where he is on the table, but like basically, when you look at them both, they're doing brilliant now, because like Lorenzo's struggling, but Lorenzo's like back on form, and he's doing really, really well now. Lorenzo, he's just been back on form again, because like when he was struggling, I didn't really like it when he was struggling, but he's literally just got back on form than where he wants to be when he was on the Yamaha. And that's where Lorenzo comes from, because like it was goodbye Lorenzo a few years ago, and then he's just decided to come back and decided to win races. And basically what happened after that is he basically just started to get back in a routine. He started to win more like races. He started to get a lot more on the podium, and he basically just started to get a lot more better than what he does right now. And like basically we haven't got many races left in this season, so like he's only got a few more races left on the Ducati. So I know it's still a lot of years, but like if I was me right now, I know that to be honest I would take his place because I love Ducati. But like, I think the Honda will probably be a lot more better for him, to be honest. If he wants to go on that, that's fine. It's not up to me. If he wants to go to that bike, that's not up to me. And if he wants to stay on that bike and have a few contracts, that's absolutely fine. If that's what Lorenzo wants, and he wants to stay on that bike for good, yeah. But I think, to be honest with you, he's going to stay on that bike for the next couple of years. Like, I guarantee that he's not going to go back to Yamaha, and he's not going to go back to Ducati. I bet Honda is probably going to be the bike, because like Pedrosa is retiring after this year. So basically, I bet Lorenzo will stay in that team for the next few years until he retires, because like he's 30 at the moment. So I guarantee when he gets to 40 and when he retires, I bet he's gonna stay on that Honda, because like Pedrosa's retiring this year, so that's fine. So I guarantee he's gonna stay on that bike. I don't know whether he will, but I think that's what's going to be happening. So there we are then. So that was the legend of MotoGP. I'm talking about Lorenzo. So Lorenzo has been struggling a little bit, but I love Lorenzo. He's good in real life. Hopefully he keeps up his racing. Hopefully he gets a lot more wins on that bike before he does move to Honda next year. And yeah, hopefully he does get a lot more wins. I can't wait to see him ride again on the next track, because I've actually missed Mazzano, by the way. I've actually not had time to watch the Mazzano race over the weekend, so I might end up maybe watching that tomorrow. I don't know yet. But yeah, basically Mazzano was on last weekend, and I actually missed it. I didn't actually know it was on that weekend, so hopefully I might be able to watch it this weekend, and hopefully I might be able to see how Lorenzo goes and all that. And hopefully he's not going to struggle. So yeah, that should be quite good. But yep, that's the end of this one. So there'll be another Legend of MotoGP coming up next week. and I'll be talking about another rider. Be able to go find out what that's going to be. So thank you for watching this one about Lorenzo, and I'll see you later. Bye!